Y'all went elsewhere. But now that y'all see I'm the ticket, now y'all like, oh yeah, we want to fight Terrence Crawford. We want Terrence Crawford. That's the narrative now.
If Crawford has it in his mind
to fight
Boots, you might as well do it now.
Because now they begging for a fight. Now they want to fight me now. I don't sell, so there's no need for you to even mention my name no more. Don't say Terrence Crawford.
There's a lot of talk about what Terrence Crawford said about Jaron Boots now that he spoke out against him. There has never been more friction between the old guard and the new blood. One of boxing's most dangerous young lions is now after Crawford, the man who beat the chances to win 3 divisions and make Canelo Alvarez look bad in front of the world. At the same time, Jaron kicks Ennis, who just got knocked out in the first round. Not just making noise, he wants to say something. In the super middleweight title, no one is safe, but just when fans thought this dream matchup might come true, Crawford's cap hit back, and everyone was shocked. This is going to be great, so please like and follow. I have to ask again, because we are going to talk about how this quiet feud turned into one of the most talked about boxing stories. From Eddie Hearn's bold claims to Bomac's cold rejection to Crawford's calm but sharp answer, this story has it all. There is pride, history, and a little shade.
I'm in business right now, because if you're Boots, right? And I guess the thing for Canelo is, Floyd made some good money there. Canelo had a nice following. Is there a super big following for Boots outside of just the boxing world?
That's what Max is saying. The market is not that big.
I know, but what I'm saying is like, so the money was like, if I'm Crawford, would I jump out there and fight? Because Boots ain't no easy fight.
Jaron Boots Ennis has always been sure of himself, but his latest showing made him so sure of himself that it turned into a roar. It was too big for boxing to dismiss. Ennis beat Usman Lima badly in his first fight at 154 pounds. He was knocked down twice, and the end of the first round looked more like a demolition job than a start. People in the crowd barely had time to settle down before Lima hit the mat, and with that, Boots Ennis made it clear that he was a real threat as super middleweight. In just a few hours, social media went crazy. There were calls for the next big fight on X, which used to be Twitter, between Boots and Bud. Make it happen. Bud faces a lot of risk with little gain. The only person living who can beat Crawford is Boots. The facts back up the hype: 35 wins, 0 losses, and 31 knockouts. There's more to that than just a record. A young, hungry fighter who has never lost before, taking over Crawford's old section. Now it's time to call out the man who many people call the pound-for-pound king. Fans were going crazy thinking about Crawford versus Ennis, but one man wasn't pleased. In fact, Crawford's longtime trainer didn't just play down the call-out, he completely ignored it. Head trainer and strategist for Crawford, Brown Bomac McIntyre, reacted to the talk about Jaron Ennis's call-out from the UK, which is across the ocean. And let's just say that what he said was clear. That guy doesn't bring anything to the table. It's not going to happen. For Ennis fans, that one line was like a punch in the gut.
No, he don't bring nothing to the table. He got our leftovers. Why would Bud want to go backwards? I want to go backwards. Bud looking for bigger and better fights. So where he can etch his name in the concrete forever. I don't know, because I really don't look at none of the welterweights since we did clear the division out. I'm done.
Didn't stop there, though. He explained it clearly. Crawford is 38 years old, has won all of his divisions, and has nothing left to show. On the other hand, Ennis is only 28 years old and is still building his legacy. He hasn't faced anyone close to Crawford's level yet. Bomac made it sound like Ennis is after names, but Crawford is after heritage, and that legacy speaks for itself. As the undisputed welterweight champion, Crawford beat Errol Spence Jr. He then moved up to 168 pounds and made Canelo Alvarez look like a person, which not many people thought was possible. Every time Crawford goes into a new class, he not only wins, he takes it over.
He made it look so easy. You know what I'm saying? 2-3 more in him. You know what I'm saying? Training camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
Hey Bomac, This isn't a competition. It's not a match between experience and goal. Crawford has already put together his tale. He thinks that Ennis is still on the first chapter, but not all boxers agreed. A few saw Max Bomack says things not out of confidence, but out of fear. And there was one man who was ready to fight back hard. Eddie Hearn is honest, if you know him.
Incredible. I was just actually posting and I said this. I've worked with some incredible fighters. This young man is a phenomenon. He's 28 years old. He's 35-0. He has incredible defensive skills and footwork, but he comes to seek and destroy and has brutal KO power. Please enjoy at Jaron Ennis' journey. I need to do my job because he will not lose from 154 pounds all the way to 168 pounds.
When it comes to his boxer, Jaron boots Ennis. He wants everything. Hearn said one of the bravest things of his career in a recent interview with The Playing Ground. You can try to play it down, but I don't care what Jaron Boots says. There is no better boxer than Ennis right now. That is not sales talk. That is commitment. Hearn said it again. Ennis isn't just Crawford's replacement. He's already better. He's 28 years old. Crawford is 10 years older than him.
Did however he wants with Virgil Ortiz.
Honestly,
anybody, wherever I want, as long as I'm focused and locked in, having a great training camp, and like I said, I feel great at 154, and it's time. Like I said to Eddie, bring him on.
We haven't even begun to scratch the surface. By a long shot, this is the most unique attacker I've ever worked with. Hearn says that Ennis would destroy names like Virgil Ortiz Jr. and anyone else at 154. He doesn't think Boots will become the next Lawrence. It's something new about him. The fact that Hearn was sure of himself made things worse. Fans began to disagree. Some said Ennis needed to prove himself, while others said he was already ready to be great. But not all boxers were ready to give Ennis the title. One well-known person spoke up to give a more fair view.
Hell yeah, I think Boots is a hell of a fighter. I don't know about the natural sensation, whatever that is to Terence Crawford, I think Boots his own fighter, Terence his own fighter, but...
When the WBC lightweight king talks, that was definitely Shakur Stevenson. People pay attention. Shakur Stevenson, who is known for being calm and honest, didn't hide the fact that he was giving Boots flowers. He was honest. His words to Fight Hub TV were, "Hell yeah, Boots is a hell of a fighter, but he's his own man. Terrible is his own person." It was a quiet but strong warning that you can't copy greatness. It was clear that Stevenson thought Ennis was the truth and praised his skills, but he also said that calling him Crawford's heir might be too soon. Ennis is making his own way. He has to beat winners first, though, before he can be crowned king. Some of these names are Virgil Ortiz Jr., Erickson Lubin, and Jermel Charlo.
I think they both hell of a fighters. I've been around Boots for years, and he's the truth.
And last one for me, I'll let you go. Obviously, everyone's talking about a potential fight, you and Teofimo. Is there any updates to that? I mean, is that something that you are looking towards?
Yeah, that's the fight I want. So, ain't no updates. I don't speak business until the deal is done, so, nothing to talk about.
Stevenson's words set the tone for the talk. It wasn't about who could shout the loudest. It came down to who could show it in the ring. And fans are still thinking about Ennis's knockout win. Crawford was now under a lot of pressure to answer. No matter how much you dislike Terence Crawford, everyone will listen when he finally talks.
To be honest, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I said, everything's up in the air right now. I'm just, enjoying my family, enjoying, to be able to say, look what I accomplished.
When Terence Crawford finally spoke out about the nose, he didn't go on and on. He didn't say anything bad. He only told the truth and was sure of it. Crawford didn't care about the rumors when he went on All the Smoke with Andre Ward. He made it clear that he's not losing sleep over phone calls. "I am relaxing. I'm not sure what to do next." Nothing flashy or dramatic, just a man who has already done everything he set out to do.
Or what I'm about to accomplish next. So I'm just chilling right now. I haven't even got the time to sit down with my team and talk with them and, things like that. I talk with my family. I know with my family more, but, it's a team effort.
He talked about spending time with his family, thinking about what he's done, and letting the future happen as it will. But there was a message in those calm words. Crawford isn't running away. He's giving orders. He does things his own way. At 38, Crawford is no longer trying to prove himself in his job. It has to do with adding more parts to a famous story. He's done something that not many fighters had ever been able to do. Undisputed in many divisions, with wins over big names and a history that spans generations. The way he spoke said it all. Frankie will have to climb to get to me. That wasn't enough for fans who wanted more action, though. People were more interested in Crawford because he was so cool. There was a quiet before the storm. Or was it the quiet of a man who's done fighting for attention? In any case, Crawford's team wasn't done talking. What happened next made the argument even louder. Fans want Crawford versus Ennis to happen like it's the only fight that counts for weeks now. Ennis's biggest win was over Ennis, who was a good fighter, but only held the title because Crawford gave it up. It didn't take Bomac long to say that. The belts and boots that were picked up belonged to Crawford. That's the difference. Crawford, on the other hand, has a record that looks like a Hall of Fame checklist. From his early days as a lightweight to his victory at welterweight, he's fought and beaten world champions in all 3 weight classes. When Crawford moved up, he didn't settle for easy fights. He picked the best name that was available and made them look bland. Just look at the difference. Crawford's first fight at 147, he went up against Hearn, who had beaten Manny Pacquiao, and beat him badly. Ennis's first match at 154, the skilled but unknown Uiz Malimo, a stop after 1 round. It's not the same, and Bomac said the same thing. It's not the same talk. Everyone was told that Crawford is after history, not power. He beat Canelo Alvarez in a weight class where most people thought he wouldn't be able to stay alive. He has won the right to pick only fights that add to his legacy now that he is 38 years old.
I beat this guy. It's his excuse. I beat this guy. You know, he's too young or whatever. So I'm never really going to give my full respect until afterwards. Yes, you know, it's a lot of people that's changing their narrative. Like, man, y'all watching something great right now, and we not appreciating it. And it's sad to say that we waking up at the tail end of his career.
This means that Ennis is not a threat to Crawford's team. He's getting in the way. But here's the catch. Why does everyone keep talking about the game if it doesn't really matter that much? For the fans, it's not trivial. It's powerful. The fight between Crawford and Boots has become more than just a boxing discussion thanks to social media. It's turned into a dream fight for all generations. One that puts experience up against explosiveness, accuracy up against power, and legacy up against desire. Feel free to look through the comments on X, Reddit, or YouTube. You'll find it there. There is a strong desire for the fight from the fans. For them, it's no longer about clothes. It's about getting rid of pride. It's seen by some fans as Crawford's last test against youth. The last fight with the boss before he goes into the Hall of Fame. Some people say it's Ennis's way of living forever. The fight could make him famous all over the world very quickly. One tweet that went viral said it all. Crawford is the best of this generation if he beats Boots. But Boots will be the future of boxing if he wins. Just like that, a dream turned into a strong desire. There are now even predictions from experts about how it might end. Crawford, who can switch hits, and Ennis, who is very fast. Time, reflexes, and knockout power are all things that both athletes are known for. It's a dream for style, but there's a catch. Crawford is said to have said that he would only fight for a 9-figure sum of money. That's right. About $100 million. Fans dream of leaving a legacy, but business people dream in terms of money. Since making this dream come true might require more than skill, it's going to cost a lot of money. That brings up the question that everyone has. What are these two really going to do next? Let's begin with Terrence Bud Crawford, the man at the top. At this point, Crawford doesn't want to fight just anyone. He's looking for moments that prove how great he is. People close to his team say he wants to move up to 160 pounds so he can fight for the middleweight title and become one of the few fighters in history to win world titles in 4 weight classes. It's said that he only wants mega fights, which are 9-figure events that fit his status. Crawford says it's about seeking greatness, not making money. But when you've earned what he's earned, you and he often go together.
Extraordinary stuff. Like going up 2 weight classes to fight the best fighter in that division, the #1 guy that's the face of boxing, you know, and the way that I handled that, people like, oh man, something had to be.
He's tired of fights that don't matter. That kind of past is what he wants. At the same time, Jaron Boots every time Ennis wins a fight, he adds to his business. After beating Lima badly, Ennis made it clear that he wants to fight either Vergil Ortiz Jr. or the winner of Ortiz vs. Erickson Lubin next. That's not all, though. Ennis has also named Sebastian Fondora, Jermel Charlo, Bakram Murtazaliev, and even rising star Xander Zayas as people he might face in the future. He's not just after clothes. He wants to be noticed. The kind that makes even famous people like Crawford pay attention. At this very moment, one guy is guarding his throne while the other climbs toward it. The boxing fans want more than just two routes. They want those paths to meet. It won't just be another fight when they do. The crown will be passed on or defended. A simple truth lies at the heart of all this noise. Crawford says that Jaron Ennis doesn't bring anything to the table. Eddie Hearn says that Ennis is the best boxer in the world right now. The truth, or fact, is somewhere in the middle. That's why everyone is talking about it all the time. It's not just about who's better. Legacy versus possibility is at stake. The heir versus the mythology. Now is either the beginning of history or the end of history. Fans will keep asking the same question for a long time. Is Crawford just showing that he can't be hurt to protect his throne? Share your ideas in the box below. Is Terence Crawford still going to fight Jaron Boots, or is that the end of that story? Okay, guys, for the most up-to-date news, moments, events, and acts in boxing, if you subscribe to Fight Motive and set up alerts, you'll never miss good material. See our other videos too. Peace until next time.